Do you want to meet Corey Feldman and Jameson Newlander, the real Frog Brothers? Join us, the Frog Brothers Podcast, August 20th and 21st in San Antonio, Texas for the Summer of Santa Carla presented by Kings of Horror. Help celebrate the 35th anniversary of one of our favorite films, The Lost Boys. With screenings, autographs, artists, vendors, oddities, readings, comics, food, and more. Plus your favorite podcast hosts, Alec, Justin, and Nick. Go to socialrevoltstore.com for tickets and be sure to follow Kings of Horror on Instagram for updates. Looking to win tickets? Listen to the Frog Brothers Podcast from now until the event and be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts for more chances to win. At Frog Bros Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. We'll see you in Texas.
Yeehaw!
Hi, I'm Jameson Newlander, Alan Frog from The Lost Boys, and you're watching the Frog Brothers Podcast.
What's we doing running from a spooky ghost?
It's refreshment time, folks.
Are either one of these any good?
Do you like scary movies?
I don't watch movies.
I have to return some videotapes.
You have a TV? No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. You don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call Michelle. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only finish him.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Okay, I want channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and Weather Channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Hello, and welcome to episode 123 of the Frog Bros Podcast. My name is Justin. Alec.
Wow.
Did I blow your ears out?
A little bit.
Yeah, that was a little loud.
Good. I'm Nick.
Good morning. Wake up, motherfucker, I'm here. It's podcast fucking time.
It's almost morning because it's almost midnight.
Almost midnight.
It's fucking 2 hours from midnight.
Is it only
Hour and 37 minutes, okay?
37?
Wow, Nick's favorite number. That's what he's,
I mean, that's everybody's favorite number.
Well, he quit at 37. He stopped counting at 37 because he wanted to be at that number, you know what I mean? You ever done that with something? You just stopped counting at that number because you achieved the number you wanted?
I'm 37?
I'm 37?
Well, that lost momentum quick. Anyway, what's going on?
We got the Summer of Santa Carla this week. It's going to be fucking crazy.
It's gonna be nuts. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday.
This coming weekend in San Antonio, Texas, we're going to be at the Summer of Santa Carla event Sunday, Saturday, Friday.
You have nothing at that point?
No, I was just gonna repeat more of the same shit.
Sunday. Lost Boys.
I just see the mic clip the shit, and I'm like, oh, God.
I love it.
I don't.
Well, you can be a snob all you want, but it's hilarious to me.
You're scaring people's pets.
You don't,
Hey, speaking of scaring pets, so I have this beautiful Alf puppet, and my vampire hunting dog, Buffy, saw it in the nursery for the new baby the other day. Freaked out, so I made a stupid video earlier of me scaring the dog with it, and then I got told to stop because that was too much.
You're traumatizing it.
Well, I only did it for like a minute to get this video clip, and really it was pretty short, so I put it up, and I also didn't want my Alf puppet to get eaten.
I'm
So.
tell PETA.
PETA?
Peter who?
You're torturing animals to make videos.
I'm vegan. I do more for animals than you do.
I eat them after they're dead.
I jerk him off.
They're already dead.
Why don't you eat them while they're alive?
I masturbate
I manually
animals
masturbate animals, caged animals for artificial insemination.
Do you eat dogs or cats, Nick?
Maybe they taste good.
Oh,
I probably have eaten.
Don't go there. I just look at you and I know the kind of shit that's going to spew out of your mouth. He's like, I probably have eaten. Oh, God, there he goes again. You son of a bitch.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Some cultures do eat them. It's no different than us eating chickens.
So it's football season for those of you that give a fuck.
No.
I had to bring that up because Nick got triggered earlier in our Ghostbusters group chat, and he's like,
God damn it, I'm going to call off anyone that likes sports dick and make them glued to their nose like a fucking wacky dick.
No, they were
You
arguing.
see nothing but trouble, you're all going to look like Dan Aykroyd.
Shut it, son of a bitch!
They were arguing. So.
They were arguing. But in other news, the 35th anniversary of Monster Squad was
So
yesterday.
you had nothing to say about football?
No, I just announced it. Because I wanted to trigger you, and that's all I did. I achieved what I wanted to do with that.
No.
I saw you get angry, and I saw like you get disappointed immediately.
Oh. I'm not talking about sports.
Evil Dead game is adding Mia from the reboot, which is pretty cool. That's a new download coming.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to put any reboot content.
Saw that. Hey, are you guys excited about Saw 10 next year? Because I really don't give a fuck.
Saw 10?
Yeah, I don't care either. But
Didn't they do a spinoff or something with?
see, they did
Jigsaw,
and then they did Spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Spiral is the one with
the Chris Rock one.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, now they're going back to.
I haven't seen either of those.
Whatever. Yeah,
I think I only watched them all one time when I was like.
There's more than one spinoff?
Depressed. No, like all the rest of them. Like the first one is a fucking grade A movie.
The first
and it
one's
gets
fucking
tied in with
amazing.
the other ones too much, because they're all shit.
The claim to
the first
fame-
one's great.
And
same with Paranormal Activity. Sorry.
Fun thing about Saw 2 is Saw 2 is much like Die Hard 2, where it was written as a different script, and they're like, hey, we can make this a sequel. So the writer of Saw 2 is actually from Kansas City, and they had him adapted into a Saw sequel after he wrote it.
Did they have him adapt it, or did they have somebody else rewrite it?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I read an article about it in the paper when it came out back in the day. So
I read an article about it back in the paper back in the day, you see?
it was back in the Kansas City Star. I paid a whole quarter for that newspaper.
It was like clicking on the news app.
And then I ran over the paper boy.
But it was physical, because I could get at it. Gibberish.
So I watched a bunch of movies over the weekend
Give me
on
that.
TV.
I'll change the color. Oh.
Nick, don't touch
Ooh, you made it sexy.
That's seriously very sensitive, but I
Yeah,
barely
it is.
touched it.
Oh, it's so sensitive.
You get this thing worked up, Nick. And
Look, no,
I thought I actually had to press in.
it's just like this. You get it with a little... You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Look at that gentle touch.
Was that my ring light?
That's your ring light, yes.
And that controller works on it?
No, it's not changing the ring light. It's changing the light behind it.
Oh, okay.
You see the lights behind it? And the one behind you.
That makes sense.
There's a light bulb
I
that's
knew
attached to it.
I knew they did the light bulb. Oh, man, I feel like a fucking idiot. I'm like looking right at it. Like, is that changing the color of the ring light?
Oh, that's for the strips.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Am I having a stroke here?
I thought you did have a remote.
Does this side of my face look numb?
That's the remote for that, yeah. But I always leave
It's not
them
really
on.
a remote if it's attached by a cord.
That's how remotes used to be, dickhead.
No. Remote means you're remote from it.
No, the
This
original
is just
TV
a
remote
control.
controllers
So
were...
what do you call
Then they didn't
the
call it a
NES
remote.
controllers?
Not a remote.
Remote controllers.
No.
Yes.
Because you're not remote.
It's
just a
you are remote. You're just wired.
It's just a controller.
You could literally the
I
same
never
distance
called
away,
those,
and
I
you're.
never recalled those remotes when I was a kid. I was
Nick
alive. I was alive back then. I'm like,
is being an edgelord here.
You
He's just
young-
working on
I was
his
born in
man.
'91.
long after the NES.
Came out. You think there weren't games
when
coming
the-
out for NES in 1991? Is that what you're implying?
When was Super NES? 91, wasn't it? 92,
Still came out
93.
with NES games when it was out.
But we didn't. We weren't old enough to remember if we called them controllers or remotes. We just called them controllers, man.
I'm implying that controller is short for remote controller, obviously.
No.
I'm not saying you would have called it. Well, I mean, yes. There's no way to deny that, obviously. It's just pointless controversy here now.
He gets off on this shit. He's like fucking. I got a half chub over here trying to piss us off because I pissed him off with football.
I think it has to be wireless to be a remote.
Bastard! Douchebag!
Son of a bitch.
I watched the new vampire flick, The Day Shift, on Netflix. That's a really fucking fun movie.
Who gives a fucking shit?
No, I don't have any clue about it,
But
but
it's not on your top 10.
It's Jamie. Oh, I've only seen it once.
it's
so
who?
It's got Jamie Foxx in it and Snoop Dogg. Pretty fucking good.
Okay,
And
Jamie Foxx gives you points, but Snoop Dogg, I mean, if it's not a comedy, I'm not feeling him in a movie.
Oh, it's a.
He's got a big role, right? He's not
This
like
movie had so much vibes of like Idle Hands meets a vampire movie, and I love that about it because there's serious moments, but there's also just stupid shit in there. And
I want to see that
all the dumb
Vampires
shit.
in Brooklyn movie. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
the Eddie Murphy one.
No, it's like Vampires versus Brooklyn or something.
No, Vampires versus the Bronx. I saw that.
Oh, that's what it is. The Bronx. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
It's a Netflix movie, I guess. Yeah.
Also checked out The Black Phone finally. I thought that was a little overhyped. It's a good movie, but it's not like the next best thing in horror. So
That was good.
There's a thing with the new generation of kids.
that think
like,
this shit's scary, and I'm like,
They
I'm not
think
even,
it's
like,
great. Listen, they hate like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and how the original like shit like that. They hate it. They think it's just cheesy and like shit now. It's like the people who were like, "Ooh, it's a black and white horror movie. I'm not watching that when we were kids."
Yeah, I can get that, but I mean, I don't know.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's a terrible thing. It's not excusable. It's a bummer, but that's how they're feeling, and they're like this. That's why the new Scream was so successful, because for some reason they thought it was great. And I'm like, I still don't understand. Did we watch the same movie?
I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's really good elements in that, but it's also kind of like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. There's some things in there that
I'll watch it only because it's a Scream movie, but...
Oh, yeah. I was talking about Black Phone, but same thing with that Scream.
Yeah.
There's a few elements in that movie that I enjoyed, but the rest of it, you're just like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
What else?
Any news?
Anne Heche.
Yeah, Anne Heche died.
That's a bummer.
Unfortunate. And it's unfortunate she hurt other people too, which a lot of people
Were
are
other people
pissed off
hurt?
about.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because a couple of fires, but I mean,
It sounds like she was having a lot of problems and issues though
She
too.
had, like alcohol and drugs in the
I was going to
car?
say she has a known history of mental health issues and some substance abuse, and it just sucks to see someone spiral out and fucking go out that way.
Yeah, it also sucks because I just dropped our I Know What You Did Last Summer review that we recorded like a month ago before any of this happened. And so I just dropped it, so it might just come out weird because we don't mention her dying or anything.
We also recorded a Volcano review that we lost, and we have to re-record
the lost episode.
The lost episode. Yeah, we need to do that and dedicate it to her then.
So we've actually reviewed 2 of her movies recently.
Yeah.
And I mistook her for someone in a different movie as well.
It happens. I mean, people look at us and they're like, yeah, they could not tell the three of us apart at all.
There's a bunch of other political news that I don't want to spend a bunch of time talking about, but I will briefly mention. Mostly
a lot of political.
The Alex Jones trial. That's fucking hilarious. If you want comedy, that's where you need to go watch as soon as this podcast is over. This some of the clips from this Alex Jones trial where the lawyer's like getting him to admit perjury and shit.
What's with these rich people hiring these incompetent lawyers? Because you got your Amber Heard lawyers who are pretty incompetent. Alex Jones lawyers emailed everything to the prosecutor.
I don't know. There's that whole everyone thinks that's a conspiracy theory. They're trying to get him back. They believed he did it, and that was their way. And I'm like, whatever. The fact that he didn't turn it over, and he was probably subpoenaed to turn all of his records over anyway, and he didn't. It's whatever.
Oh, you talking about Trump now?
Well, no, him too. I mean, who's not turning over the records?
Exactly.
They were supposed to have?
Listen, I have every right to take the nuclear codes and show them to Kid Rock. He wanted to see them. It's okay.
He showed them at his latest concert, and the reason my ex-wife is dead is because she fell down the stairs. She tripped. I swear.
They took my passports. I can't leave the country.
Is that true?
Yeah. They took his passports in the thing.
Well, you don't want him to go to Russia.
So that people are implying he's a flight risk, basically. People are implying that from them taking those.
Oh, yeah, he'll go live in the Kremlin.
I'll go back to the homeland. Either Germany or Russia. These days, Russia.
Yes, the Russian people have been very good to me.
Vladimir Putin's cock fits right in my mouth. Right in my butt. Slips right in. You should see it. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
You should tell us about how you ride behind him on the pony that he rides around shirtless.
When he rides shirtless, I like to ride completely bare. I like to feel my balls against the horse's hair. I like to caress the curly hairs and the lower back of Putin.
His butt hairs.
The one sticking out. I like to pluck one occasionally. I lick it, I sniff it.
That's good. I like that Trump impersonation. It's gotten better.
It's all right. I mean, it's nothing great. I'm not claiming to be great at his impersonation, but it makes me laugh.
It gets the whole vibe across. So yeah, we got oh, you know what I got in the mail today? My Laura Summer autograph.
Nick and me were eyeballing so quick back and forth of like, say something quick, something horrible. I don't know. A fleshlight, a 12-inch dildo, a child corpse. What?
A child corpse.
I'm just thinking of the worst things I can think of.
Oh.
I was going to say a bride, but I forgot he was already married.
Oh no, I wouldn't mail order a bride.
You're saving a Russian bride, or even a Ukrainian bride.
I'm not against any of that for people that need it, but do it fits your lifestyle.
Melania will be on the.
Justin's not
on the market again soon.
Who will?
Melania.
Oh. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
This time, I'm gonna marry my own daughter. It's perfect.
She's
It's gonna
beautiful.
be great. Woody Allen got away with it. Why can't I?
I sniff her panties every day anyway, and I wear them around like a mask on Halloween.
You know he's gone down to the laundry room and sniffed them.
Oh, he's a fucking creep. I guarantee it.
I drop so many loads in those panties before I do the load of laundry. Oh, here you go, sweetheart. I did your laundry. Oh, I'm missing a couple pairs of panties. Oh, are you? That's weird, isn't it? How did that happen? That's bizarre.
Oh, I think I found him. It looks like someone was spray tanning in there.
Someone chewed out the crotch of my underwear.
Oh, wow.
And we don't have a dog.
Oh, wow.
Definitely wasn't the dog.
Oh, no, you know what it was? Mike Pence was here the other day, and his dog, he brought his dog. And he must have,
He put a collar on me. He walked me around the house, and I ate the panties.
Daddy Pence was here the other day.
No, he's not letting Pence anywhere near him. And
No, not anymore.
No.
This is an old conversation.
This is the pre-recorded audio tape.
Exactly. That's going to come out. It's going to leak on CNN.
It's going to leak about as bad as his ass did after Putin blasted in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it when he leaves the load in, and I can let it drip out all day. Slowly.
He calls me a manna because I'm a washing machine.
I blow cum bubbles with my farts.
He fills the loads and leaves them in.
I ask him to mix a little Dawn in, so
Dawn?
Soap for bubbles. I like bubblies.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hey, you know who merely made a fuck up today? Or this week, I should say?
IGN?
IGN. Those fucking pompous motherfuckers are out there like, we've got the top 10 vampire films of all time.
Fuck it.
Are you fucking
Holy
sure?
shit!
We should.
Where's the Tylenol?
We should read their list before we do our.
Oh, we'll talk about their list, and then we'll all do our top 10.
Or while we're doing our list, we could say.
Okay, so let's go through. We'll start with number 10, and we'll go with their list. Okay? So their number 10's first. Their number 10 is Dracula from 1971.
Wait, you wrote it down on your paper?
Yes.
Oh.
See, that's the point of a pen and paper, Nick, is you can write things down and have it right in front of you without having the screen go dark.
But you can have it on your...
All right, everyone. Chill.
Excuse me.
We're getting chilled tonight. The temperature here is dropping faster than Nick's panties at an NSYNC concert.
Or the temperature outside.
Yeah, that too.
Justin Timberlake with his fucking ramen noodle hair.
The old school days.
Fucking ramen noodle bitch.
What did we do?
That's you're up. I did theirs. Their number 10 was Dracula from 1971.
By number 10? I put mine in alphabetical order because I wasn't going to...
Smoke weed every day.
I don't have a strong enough opinion on this. I put Blade.
You never fucking do.
No, sometimes I do.
Rarely. You're always like, I didn't do it in any kind of
But
order.
I don't care on this one. So I put Blade.
You've never actually
It
ranked
starts
them
with a B.
properly.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so
Yeah, I have.
what's your number 10?
My number 10. Twilight.
Oh my god.
And not any specific one of them, because I don't know which one would be the best.
You know, everyone listening is going to be like, they're talking shit about IGN's list.
Oh, completely. But the thing is, I'll admit that there's several on there that I haven't seen. So those could probably, if I saw them, they could probably push it out easily. It's number fucking 10. And I'm not even saying the first one necessarily. I'm kind of grouping them all together because
the series.
I don't even love them, but there's value in them, I think.
I've only seen the first two.
And also, somebody's got to represent for the people out there and the...
That is an entire generation of
For
people's
our
vampire
women
introduction
listeners.
to movies.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
think-
like that. I'm not going to clown on a movie that brought an entire people into the subgenre of horror movies and going down that path.
This is a sexual awakening movie for a lot of people at certain ages, too, so...
Yeah.
Or book.
Is it the best? Not in my opinion.
You ever buy a used copy of Twilight? Those pages are stuck together, let me tell you, from turning pages with wet fingers, buddy.
Yeah. Double clicking the mouse.
Exactly.
A little tuna water.
So my number 10. Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Why is...
We're like over here winning women's opinions, and Nick is like slapping that fucking out of the fucking goal, basically.
Nick like sees the titty and he like slaps it. And he's like, "Stop that!"
Right.
My number 10 is The Hunger. It's a pretty good one. It's one I've only seen more recently.
I don't think I've seen that one.
But a David Bowie flick. It's kind of a slow burner, but that's my number 10 because it's interesting and it doesn't really follow the vampire tropes.
The Hunger.
I'm here to suck your cock. I mean blood.
Number 9, according to IGN's list, is A Girl Walks Home Alone.
Haven't seen it. Intrigues me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to watch all these.
I can't. I will not validate an opinion on that one.
Yeah, I have no opinion on that because I have not
IGN's
seen
introducing us to films we haven't seen, so we'll do that.
I have not seen that one myself.
Yeah, unfamiliar.
I put Fright Night because it's next alphabetically.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, that being number 9 hurts though for me. Like that, right in the gut.
It's alphabetical though.
I feel like I'm.
It's reverse. Well, technically it would be number 2 if I did it reverse alphabetical.
You don't even know what you're doing over there. I don't know how to help you, Nick. What's your number 9, Alec?
30 Days of Night.
That's a very solid one. That's an honorable mention for me.
I enjoy it.
I saw it at the theater, but I don't remember it well enough to rank it.
I have it on DVD.
DVD.
Back in the day, an old roommate of mine pirated that, so I watched it one night when it was on the Plex.
Our matey want to watch 30 Days of Night.
It attracted
with
me enough
me.
to pay ticket money for. So.
You scallywag.
No, I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I liked the concept more than the actual execution, but I still had fun watching it.
It was a new.
There's a little bit of a slow middle for sure, but it's interesting.
My number 9 is Blade.
Blade.
That's a pretty fucking solid flick. It really saved the Marvel entertainment basically from going completely under by being successful there. So, IGN's bullshit list. Number 8 is The Hunger. I already talked about that one on my list. So, what's your number?
So you agree with them?
I agree. That's a top 10.
They think it's better than The Lost Boys.
I put.
They don't even have Lost Boys on their list.
I know.
I put From Dusk Till Dawn because it was next alphabetically.
Okay. What about you, Alec? Number 8.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Bram.
That's a good one. There's some.
I'm gonna say Bram now.
Bram.
Bram.
Bram flakes.
Bram.
Brom. No, Brum. I'm gonna say Brum.
Which one's that? Who's that? Who's in that one?
Gary Oldman's Dracula.
That's right. That's what I thought.
Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves.
I haven't seen that in so long either, so can't remember it well enough to rank it.
Is that?
What the fuck?
No, that's not it.
What?
What is Peter McNichol? He plays Renfield in one of these movies. I just now remember this. I can't remember which it is though.
That's Dracula Dead and Loving It.
It is?
Yeah.
That's hilarious and amazing. I'm just like thinking of that in my head, and I can all of a sudden
Holy
picture
shit.
that.
I saw that at the theater when I was a kid, but I don't know.
I haven't seen that one as much as I should have, but that's beside the point. So my number 8 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Classic early 90s vampire movie. That was one that I watched a lot because I liked vampire movies. By that point in time, by the time that came out, I was already watching vampire movies. Loved them. So according to IGN, our number 7 is What We Do in the Shadows. So what's your number 7, Nick?
I put I Am Legend.
The Will Smith flick? Okay. Fair enough. What about you?
Keep
Alan?
fucking my wife's mouth. My number 7 is Dracula, 1931.
No shit. That's mine, too.
I fucking love that movie.
It's iconic in a way that's fun. And
It fucking holds up still because it is super goth, and it's like in that time period where they, like, it's so beautiful aesthetically. You have the Children of the Night.
That's
like
a Lugosi one.
Yeah. Lugosi, the guy who plays Renfield, and that's great too.
Have you seen the NECA people bitching that they don't have a head sculpt showing his fangs, and then people are like, he doesn't have fangs in that movie.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, that's a fucking solid flick right there, right? And that makes you want to get into all the old school Universal Monster stuff. Like you watch that and you're like, okay, let's fucking do it. It just opens the door. All right, so according to the garbage that is IGN's list, Let the Right One In.
I haven't seen this one, but I really want to. It's been on my list for like a while.
It's from 2008. I have not seen this either, so it's hard to
They have
say.
the 2008 one on there. Is that the original?
I'm
There's
not
more than
100%
one of that
sure.
one?
I'm pretty sure it's a foreign vampire movie, and then in the remake.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that the one that I said was Iranian or whatever?
Maybe.
Oh.
I thought it might be Korean, but I really don't know.
It was like 2008 or something.
Could be. Have to look more into it. I'm not super familiar. Like I said, I haven't seen it.
Mine?
Yes, you, Nick.
I put Lost Boys.
Alphabetical order still?
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy enough for you, Nick, there. What's your number 6, Alec?
Interview with the Vampire.
Okay, I agree. I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said.
Mandela is,
yeah.
I guess.
My number 6, controversial possibly.
Number 6.
Is Monster Squad, because Dracula is the main protagonist in that movie. He helps gather all the other monsters in there.
Yeah, let it slide. It counts enough, I guess.
It's not one of the major vampire flicks, but I fucking just personally love this movie for nostalgic value, for the campiness.
It's just
of it
not
all.
full of like vampire lore, is why I wouldn't include it. But like, it's fine.
It's whatever. The fucking hearse he drives around in that thing, and him doing like the whole Universal monster.
I mean, he's the villain. It checks out.
I fucking love it. You see there's out of all the villains in there, there's the vampires that are his groupies, basically.
What you got in here? Water?
Yeah, just water, Nick. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What you got in there? King Kong?
King Schlong? That's in my slacks. I'm not wearing slacks, though. All right, so...
He's reading notes off of his cock.
I am. I wrote it on there.
He's got to keep giving himself an erection to see it all.
Right.
Stretch it back out. That way it doesn't shrink
Did
down.
you jerk off first? Because it's fucking smeared everywhere.
Yeah, and I rubbed off with I jerked off with rubbing alcohol too, and that just smeared the ink.
I like to use those steel wool. It's the best.
Well,
Makes
that's
the
how
best
you get rid of that
fleshlight.
top layer of skin, so you really just get that like fresh peeled orange feel to it, you know?
Yeah. You got to sound yourself with sewing needles first, though.
Well, yeah, if you
Helps
do it
you-
right, you sew the whole thing together,
Yeah.
one at a time. So IGN's number 5 is the movie Near Dark.
Nick?
What's your
That's
number
mine
5?
too.
That's mine too.
Alphabetical.
No,
That we all have.
We all agree
Near
on
Dark
that.
is number 5.
Yeah, Near Dark number 5.
That's hilarious.
Did you? You didn't watch that with us, did we? Did you? Or did you watch it
We
separate?
watched it at your place.
I thought you and I watched it while he was in bed or
Could
at
be.
work or something.
Yeah, but I have the digital copy, so you may have watched it through my library.
Oh, is that what we did?
No, I'm pretty sure it was streaming on Tubi
It
for
was
like
the
2 days.
It was like the last day of it streaming, and we
okay.
watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good one, and that's that's one that's not talked about as much as it should be.
It's definitely a cult film, so cult film lovers probably
Had you
know
seen it before?
No, not before then, but I loved it.
Yeah, I've watched that several times since I got it because it's a good one. It was like, oh yeah, I need to
liked it.
revisit that. Okay, so let's move on to number 4. According to IGN, is Afflicted.
Haven't seen it.
Afflicted.
Yeah, I have not seen that one myself.
I don't like the title, but doesn't mean it's not a
Just
bad
reminds
movie.
me of that shitty Affliction
movie.
clothing brand, and I'm like, I don't know if I can
Yeah.
watch
No,
a movie that I just
no,
fucking imagine like
no.
men wearing fucking embroidered jeans around and acting like they're all fucking ripped because they go into the gym and being assholes. And
They only work on their glamour muscles.
yeah, well, your anus is a smooth muscle, so it can't get
My
stronger.
anus is my glamour muscle.
It's got a firm handshake.
For number 4, I put Once Bitten, starring James Carey.
Fancy. That was one of his earliest roles, right? His first
The only
role?
time that one is
Definitely
in
is.
top 5.
Definitely his first starring movie, I think.
My number 4 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
My number 4 is Interview with the Vampire.
Interesting. I enjoy Buffy more than that. We kind of swapped those in our positions.
Yeah,
I saw that at the theater too.
I'm just thinking like that's really well done.
probably the
I
only
love.
time. Oh, yeah.
I watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer more just because it's one of those. There's like the certain vein of vampire movie that I can just watch over and over and over again.
That's where they
Vampire.
bite. That's where they bite you.
In other words, he's saying he gets a boner when he watches Christy Swanson.
Swanson. I love her TV dinners.
You would.
She plays Christy Boner in Dude, Where's My Car?
Do you like the ones where they got the little penguins on the little Swanson
Didn't she
meals?
do the movie? Oh God, those were.
You get a
gross.
little chocolate brownie that's gonna bake up in the microwave for you.
Those brownies were delicious, but that's the only thing.
That was the only thing that ever cooked right and was like ready to eat out of there. Other than that, everything was frozen and gross.
Yeah.
So what's their?
So
I
much
still always
salt.
wanted them, though.
What's their number 3?
Their number 3 is Nosferatu. According to
Nosferatu who? I say.
Nosferatu.
controversial.
Arguably the first vampire film.
Oh, well, obviously, maybe first Dracula film. It's pretty much an interpretation of Dracula, although the characters, it's different too.
He's got pointed ears.
They changed it enough because they didn't pay for the rights. Or whatever.
There was a theater rights or something. I can't remember what it is exactly. I'm not too well versed in it, but I have seen it.
Yeah. It's
public domain now.
If you want to check, I mean, it's worth checking out, but it's not a top 10 to me. It's influential because it's one of the first? Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. What about you, Nick? What's your number 3?
3, I put Sleepwalkers.
Sleepwalkers.
After realizing that they're actually vampires, I guess.
Don't they eat your aura, though? They don't eat blood?
I can't remember.
I thought they were those kind of vampires, aura-eating vampires.
Their weakness are kitty cats.
Kitty cats.
And they're incestuous.
I thought I saw a putty cat. That's weird. Is that why you have so many cats?
I don't have any cats.
Oh. I see. Okay.
More. I would love to have.
What's your number 3, Alec?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
You can't see this, can you?
Yes. We might have the same top 3, I'm thinking, and in the same order, maybe.
Yeah, the From Dusk Till Dawn is my number 3 as well. That was... I had a little brief period where I wasn't actively seeking out vampire movies, but when I saw that, my friend Tony described it. He's like, yeah, it's this whole movie where like it's this mystery. It's like, and then I can't tell you about the second half. So when I finally sat down to watch it with him, it was like, we're watching it. It's this great fucking bank robbery heist movie, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, it's fucking amazing.
Do you want me to do my Cheech impression again?
No, you're not allowed to impersonate anyone that's not Caucasian.
About his pussy store.
It's the penny pussy shopper sale. If you can find
that,
pussy.
That sounds like insult comic dog. That's like triumph.
Fuck it.
More than Cheech.
That's fine. That's fine then. That's great.
I'm gonna do one impersonation from that movie. And did you mean what you said back there? Because I could do that for you.
That sounds like Jim Carrey and
same thing.
Cable Guy. Yeah, it's basically the same voice.
Yeah.
Same. All right. So what's your number?
No, what's their number 2?
Their number 2 is Thirst. Have not seen it.
Who was in that one?
Don't know.
Didn't we say earlier?
Lost Boys 2? The Thirst?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
That's the
third one.
Third one, yeah.
Is it called The Thirst?
The third one is Lost Boys, The Thirst.
Oh.
The third one's
the best sequel.
Yeah,
of the
well,
two.
better than the 2, for sure.
I put Vampire's Kiss.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't yet, but I have seen clips and memes from it, obviously, so...
I watched it not that long ago. I thought it was for the podcast, but I guess not.
Maybe for the other podcast, John, but not this one.
Number 2 is Fright Night.
Yeah, Fright Night. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? It's a fucking classic, and that is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And not that
I
remake.
love... I literally watch it the second most.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Second most to what?
It's one of those movies I went way too
Lost
long
Boys?
without having ever actually seen, and then once I saw it, it was like one of those movies that just felt like was missing your whole life, so you just watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Are you both putting Lost Boys number 1 because of the show?
Are you a dick?
What?
My
Keep it in
number
your
1's
slacks.
Vampires from John Carpenter.
Do you guys
No,
already
it's
say
Lost Boys. What
Oh.
the fuck are you talking about?
My number 1's Daybreakers, you piece of
Did
shit.
you only make it number 1?
What do we not name up? If we liked another vampire movie more, we would have named it the Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast.
No,
Nick.
because brothers, that's why.
Oh, it's not just a clever name.
Yeah.
So you're the shitty Beatles?
You had to come up with something with brothers.
No, we didn't.
No, that was just something we ran with because we liked the idea of it.
You could have done the Mario Brothers podcast.
It was... Actually, it was going to be the Man-Eating Toaster podcast, but we just didn't want to do another Ghostbusters podcast.
Yeah.
Because there was already 2 very
Well, this isn't
popular
really a
ones at the
Lost
time.
Boys podcast, so you could have still used
Not
the name.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it checks out.
Okay. What was their number 1?
Their number 1 was Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh.
Not a terrible pick, but considering some of the shit they put on here, doesn't make any sense.
31 Dracula's better. Lost Boys is better. Fright Night's better.
Yeah, the
Everything
fact that... And I can
below here.
understand you not wanting to put... Because there's some of these vampire movies that fall kind of in that same genre of horror comedy, right, to some degree, right? Lost Boys is the least funny out of all of them, but it's kind of in that wheelhouse too a little bit. But you have Lost Boys, Fright Night, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Those kind of all have this
They're not as silly as like Dracula Dead and Love It or Once Bitten or even.
Yeah, they're not complete comedies, but
Once Bitten's not super silly.
They do a better
you know,
job.
But like compared to Fright Night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fright Night's the most serious out of those ones.
They do a better job though of using humor to balance out some of the tension, right? Which works well.
Well, I put What We Do in the Shadows
for your number one. Yeah, I didn't hate that movie. I was just kind of like,
I think there's only these 10 vampire movies that I can really remember details of. So.
And wasn't that based off a 70s serial show, and then they've remade it as a new show now? Isn't that correct?
I didn't know
Like a
that.
whole
I know they
thing?
made a show because of this movie.
No, it's not based on anything. You're thinking of Dark Shadows, which is based on the soap opera that starred Johnny Depp. This one just had a movie and a
That's right, yeah.
a show, but most of what they do is reference other vampire movies and stuff like that, and it's funny for what it is, but you know,
it's like a reality show for vampires.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like a mockumentary.
That's fair.
For
That's
vampires.
fair. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around there. It's hard to see that they left off some of those classic titles and had more than one Dracula flick in there. Like, if you're gonna go Dracula, you got to go.
I bumped off Nosferatu and put on Twilight. Fight me.
I'm just really surprised they didn't put Lost Boys on their list, man.
There's some other
so
ones.
obvious. I don't know. But.
Fright Night is up there too.
But they didn't put on.
Yeah, they put Near Dark on there, and it's a cult movie, but I don't think it's better than either of those.
No, it's not. As
but
far
it's
as rewatchability.
not far behind, but it's
no, yeah,
you know.
exactly. It's in the middle of the pack. That's why it's number 5 for us.
Yeah.
And then. So let us know what your top 10 vampire movies are, and if you give us the IGN's list, I don't know what to do besides tell you that you need to watch more vampire movies because that list is kind of limited.
Even though we haven't seen half of the movies on that list.
That's fine.
We need to watch more vampire movies.
There's plenty that they haven't watched. And also check out Day Shift, because I had fun watching that one.
Yeah. It's free. Watch it.
I'm going to watch it again a couple times, I think.
I'll check it out one of these days.
It was good. All right, so our feature film tonight
is not a vampire movie.
You know what I just watched? Me pulling a can off some moron's fist? Return of the Jedi.
Did you see Alien? When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god!
You ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews.
Did you put ice in here?
Jesus Christ, you're so fascinated with this fucking thing.
So tonight's film is
Does
My
it have
Girl.
4-wheel drive?
Does it get good gas mileage?
Gee, I don't know. Nick, hit the road.
And then he goes and hits the fucking road. Do you ever notice that in the movie where he goes and slaps the pavement like an asshole?
My first note for My Girl is time to cry.
This movie, I hadn't watched this in a very long time, and since we saw...
I watched it a few months ago, so I only rewatched the first half hour on the way out here. And I watched it a million times as a kid. So.
Well, we saw They and Them with Anna
Chlumsky
the other day. Yeah, thanks for correcting me on that, because I was going to butcher that.
Chlumsky?
Yeah,
we reviewed her latest movie last week and her first movie
Yeah,
this week.
and so I was like, hey, well, let's go check out My Girl. Also, you know, it's got fucking Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, so we're going to be talking Halloween movies. We talk Ghostbusters.
I always forget that Jamie Lee has long hair in this. I always think Halloween's the only one where she does, but or Trading Places. Does she have a wig or something?
She has a wig,
yeah.
in Trading Places, right. Yeah, and then she's great in this, though.
I only know that because I can picture her topless in my head from that movie, and she has short hair in that scene.
That's
yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking. I was like, she's changing.
That's what ruins it.
I might be a terrible person.
The wig comes off, so does the top.
Yeah.
And you don't like it because she has short hair, Nick.
She's like, this isn't free.
You don't like it as much, but you like it? Does it make you happy?
Her boobs, yeah.
Okay. Just checking. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just funny the way he said it and just goes to sucking on his drink
like it's a nipple. It was like, oh yeah, I really like this.
If only her nipples excreted Baja Blast.
Oh man.
Nick's got a chub now. Look
I think
at
they
that
could
thing.
do that with like fake boobs, you know.
Be careful, someone could poke. an eye
Technology will advance. Invent it. Copy it now. Like copyright it.
Oh,
patent it.
The Chinese sex dolls are very advanced because of the male to female ratio is fucking insane over there. And so there's lots of men that will never actually have sex with a real woman, so they have very advanced sex dolls over there.
Why don't they just
Jesus Christ.
I read an article about it. I was like, this is terrifying. Like, AI is going to start from Chinese sex dolls that go and kill all the Chinese men.
Stop killing
It'd
your
be
daughters.
really fucking weird.
Nice.
I kind of want to make a horror movie about that now. Maybe not necessarily about China, because, they banned that movie in China, but...
What? I didn't hear what you said.
He was fucking thinking about titties and Baja Blast.
He's over here thinking about milking Baja Blast.
He was literally changing it.
No, I was actually
changing it to the next beverage.
I was actually trying to...
So Taco Bell fucked up and ran out of large cups.
Yeah, they sold me a large cup, but they didn't have large cups.
So they gave him 2 mediums. And so now he's playing with 2 A cups instead of 2 D
No, I was
cups.
trying to remember. Didn't China recently let people have 2 kids?
I sat on a truck stop toilet and got hemorrhoids.
Only that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's what Veda says.
Yeah.
Beginning of this movie.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, isn't it? There's some crazy dialogue.
It's just an
in here.
inflation of your tissues. It's not a.
It's
not a disease or something.
That means she is pushing too hard on there.
Yeah.
And then she has talking about her left breast is developing faster, which means she has cancer.
It's like, pass the mayonnaise. Or go get me the mayonnaise.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's a hypochondriac because she grew up in a funeral home.
And it's funny you have this...
but she, more or less because her mom died early.
She's selling kids on, give me your money and I'll show you a dead body, basically. And Thomas J is like, I don't want to fucking see a dead body.
Yeah, he's the smartest one in the group. He's like, no, I don't need to see that. I don't need to be fucking traumatized.
Yeah. I'm going to do some kid shit.
Then she scares them all with her fucking grandma and, walks them through the room.
Motherfucker's like, I've seen Stand By Me. I'm out of here.
Yeah, and then fucking grandma's walking around later, so they all think she's a zombie.
This takes place before Stand By Me came out.
Oh, well, it was made afterwards, so I don't give a shit. He has a time machine.
This takes place in 1972.
Well, Macaulay Culkin wasn't alive in 1972.
Thanks,
He's
Nick.
Thomas J, not Macaulay
You're providing
Culkin.
so
He's
much.
Macaulay Culkin. This is Michael Jackson's favorite movie. It's a well-known fact. It is.
Too many little girls. That's what he said. That was his review.
Yeah. The movie should be called My Boy.
Should be more boys.
Well, rumor has it that Michael Jackson bought the stuffed version of Macaulay Culkin that they show in the coffin at the end of the movie.
It wasn't really him?
I feel like that's one of those rumors like Marilyn Manson had a rib removed so he could suck his own dick,
I would have wanted to
rumor.
buy that, but for different reasons.
Although, that does seem more plausible now that we know more about Marilyn Manson.
Why didn't they just... Why didn't they just stick Macaulay Culkin in the casket?
Probably because it traumatized the actor.
It was a rumor, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could have made him up to look dead, but I mean, what are they going to do? Freeze frame him so he's not breathing? I mean, how many children do you know that can just hold their fucking breath and not wiggle or move or squirm at all?
What if he just stole it out of their dumpster?
Macaulay Culkin doesn't live in a dumpster.
No.
I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson dressed up like a casket and was like, all right, lay him down now.
No, Michael Jackson...
Let's shoot the scene.
Michael
I'm
Jackson
ready.
stole the fake Macaulay
Say
Culkin
action.
out of the dumpster.
Corey Feldman, if you're listening to this,
Oh.
we're sorry.
We got to cut this. This is not good.
Don't listen to this.
Yeah, just skip ahead now. Now you're safe to listen here. Okay, so my girl.
He's not listening.
No, he's not.
Or he would have come on the show by now.
Oh.
Maybe someday.
There's going to be somebody who listens to this and is upset, though. Just know it's an all good fun. I don't know if Michael Jackson was actually accurate or anything, if he did these things or not.
I thought we were just... Yeah.
It's all in good fun. Just going to point that out.
You're not saying you believe it. You just said that there's a rumor that exists.
Oh, that's what
Well, I was saying that rumor also sounded
Well,
like
that's what I
bullshit.
heard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it true? Yes, it's true. This doll has no dick. I didn't make that part.
Anymore.
That's weird.
It was found at the estate.
You know what's the best part of this movie is their fucking last name, Sultan Fuss.
Yeah, it's such a weird name.
Such a crazy name there.
Well, we're gonna get people on Twitter with the last name Sultan Fuss getting mad at us.
Oh shit!
No, I'm saying this is an awesome fucking name. It sounds like super derogatory, but also like playful and like Dr. Seuss wrote
like
it.
Salty Puss. After what do you call it?
No, it sounds like some shit.
We're
in
on my
Dr.
like
Seuss.
third note, by the way. That's it.
After you douche.
Well, we got plenty of way to go. So Jamie Lee Curtis is Shelley Devoto. Macaulay Culkin is Thomas J. Sennett. Anna Klumsky is Veda Sultanfuss. Richard Mazur is Phil Sultanfuss. Griffin Dunn is...
Who's the teacher?
Mr. Bixler.
Mr. Bixler.
Ann Nelson is Gramoo.
His grandma?
Sultanfuss, yeah.
Gramoo?
And Anthony R. Jones is Arthur.
Grandma, what was it like?
You know what? I didn't realize it since I hadn't seen this in a minute.
What?
The soundtrack's pretty fucking solid.
Oh, yeah.
How come you didn't write it down on your notebook? While you
It's
looked
all
at
right, I think.
Wikipedia?
Because I watched it in the dark the other night, and I didn't have my notebook out.
Veda, bring me my cigarettes. And if you're not doing anything constructive, go into the living room and get my stogie. Same vibes.
Yes.
I watched this on the two televisions over there, and
That's
Dan Aykroyd was much fatter on the right television, and the left television
Shape of the
was much.
screen, man.
Well, that's why, yeah, it's the shape of the screen, and that's
This
why
is
they
a flat
say
screen.
the camera adds 10 pounds.
Well, that's why, because of that TV.
Yeah.
That TV adds 10 pounds.
Vintage tube TVs, one flat screen and one actual vintage.
The tubes.
Veda, I'm embalming my high school teacher. Don't sing.
Isn't that fucking awkward? No, that was like his shop teacher or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like this guy.
I made a birdhouse or something, he says.
You ever just thought about overdubbing movies with
tie
like,
rack.
Like dialogue from other movies? Like, I'm embalming my high school teacher. I'm glad you're dead. From Batman, just like randomly there. Pitch shifted to match Dan Aykroyd.
I wonder how deep it is.
Deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper.
Basically, she shows up for the makeup job, and then she finds out it's a funeral parlor, but she's still, like, into it, I guess.
Well, she needs a job. She's left.
And she can see that Dan Aykroyd's packing a hog with
Yeah.
those pants.
Wild hog.
Yeah.
Sweaty.
It's fucking... He has knee problems because his dick bangs into his knee all day.
It's funny. He's done a lot of these. You know, he's had a lot of good
movies.
Yeah, no, he's had a lot of solid
sex.
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about. I'm done. You want to guess? Any other guesses, you assholes? No, he's been surrounded by a lot of
Dildos.
great actors. And dildos, too, probably. My favorite dildo is the one he wears on his nose and nothing but trouble, though. It's a micro penis. It's less than 2 inches, but
It's
still a dildo
just the tip,
nose.
literally.
Dick nose.
Yeah, but that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the small coffin. Oh, it's for short people. It's not for children.
Is that for kids? Yeah, and then, like, that's the whole foreskin shadowing this movie does, just to creep you out at the beginning.
And she goes to the doctor and is all like, yo, I'm fucking dying. And he's like, you're not dying, you're fine. And she's like, but I'm pretty sure I'm dying.
She's got prostate cancer.
Yeah, that's one of them. She goes there like multiple times.
She goes, yeah, she's recurrently going
I think
back
it's my
to the doctor.
prostate. And then she gets made fun of. And they're like saying that she's going to...
The little girls.
Yeah, they're doing the shit with her and
She's got
Thomas
a
J.
boyfriend.
Yeah, basically like whatever that old shit that the girls
Did they still
used
do
to
that
say.
when you were a kid?
When I was very young,
Just
yeah.
sitting in a tree.
When you're like 5 or 6, people still did that shit.
Yeah. Younger. And I'd say even older than that, because...
I like her being like, I only surround myself with those I find intellectually stimulating.
That's a pretty fucking solid line, isn't it, though? I mean,
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah, I can understand that. You know, you don't have to be old to figure out that you don't want to hang out with a bunch of fucking idiots.
And then you get the scene where she's dribbling the ball, and it goes down the stairs into the morgue. And she goes down there, and
Jamie
gets
Lee
locked
locks
in.
her.
And then to cope, she fucking plugs her ears and starts singing the... Yeah.
Which is like
Should
fucking
be
traumatic.
cut. You should cut that with the scene in Stripes when they're singing
Yeah.
it.
I mean, that'd be another good mashup there.
The makeup. She looks like a $2 hooker. And she's like, oh, I just thought I would give it a new and unique, fresh take. And it's like, why, are you fucking dumb? It's this woman's fucking funeral. This isn't the time for that. Make her look like fucking her, you crazy fucking woman.
He's
What
like,
is
yeah.
this?
And he just tells her, just
No one wears
fix
their hair
it.
like this anymore. She did.
She
Yeah.
likes how assertive he is, though. She likes that he's the manly man to her. She
Well, yeah,
likes
she's
that.
like, oh, shit, you gotta tell?
She's like, oh, yeah, fuck.
Put your hand on my
Holy
throat.
shit. Like, you're a daddy? And you're a daddy?
And he doesn't want her, she asked him about Veda, and he's like, basically, fuck off.
Don't give
Yeah,
me
she's like,
advice
don't give me advice about my daughter.
My daughter.
She's kind of an asshole about it. Which is fine. You know, a lot of people would be defensive about
He
that. but-
apologizes later
Veda goes to the creative writing class.
after robbing Jamie Lee Curtis.
Damn right she did.
Yeah, out of that fucking cookie jar. Now, that's a dope camper. I remember being like, as a kid, being like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Not as cool as the Camper and Goofy movie.
No, nothing's as good as that.
Or what's that RV movie with Robin Williams? Is that
Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie.
No, the RV though, isn't it? Like got a bunch of gadgets or something. Shit, I don't remember.
Not that I recall.
Or is that a different movie?
That's Goofy movie. It has a fucking bowling alley that unfolds and
Goofy
shit,
movie?
and a pool. And I love Veda's expression when the one chick is reading about her sex poem, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just like
starts touching herself. Not the woman, not. She's the woman.
Cut.
The woman.
We need a cut button.
Jesus Christ, Nick,
The
what is
woman.
wrong with you?
Don't say she.
You
The
need
woman.
to look up character names before you start talking like that.
I'm talking about the one that was actually touching herself.
Well, that's the woman who was reciting a poem who touched herself.
Context.
As she was slightly stimulated from her flashback
If
memories.
this is your
from
first
last year.
podcast listening, please go and listen to other stuff too.
Just know that Nick likes to be off color on purpose.
No. You two were talking about Michael Jackson diddling kids.
I didn't ever say
I didn't
anything
bring
about
that
that.
up.
I just talked about the rumor of the doll.
You said Michael Jackson bought Macaulay Culkin mannequin.
Yeah.
To have sex with.
He's a big fan of his work. I didn't say anything about what happened to that doll behind scenes.
He was buried with the penis.
Wait, do you
The
think
broken up penis.
Do you think it had a bottom half?
Not when he was finished with it.
Oh my God.
Can you make the bottom half too? He just finds the bottom half of some other mannequin, just sticks it.
So
I might just have to wait and release this till after this event.
Yeah, this might need to be next week's.
He's not gonna listen.
The mic's all fine. What's going on here?
What's happening?
Nick is touching too much shit.
didn't
Oh,
touch
don't
it.
fuck up the cords like that, Jagoff.
It's too long.
No, it's not.
That's what she said.
Not my fault. You're.
And then they're going fishing. And then
Who?
Thomas doesn't
the
want to pull the
children's.
fucking fish off there.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want. It's a whole thing, and then she's like, "Yeah, don't
She's-
kill him." And
she-
then she has him put it back. He puts it back, and it dies anyway, and he doesn't tell her that.
Yeah.
Did he fry
Don't
it?
kill it.
My next note is this movie traumatized me, and then
Why? Why at that point?
Because as a child and you watch this movie, it's fucking existential.
No,
As
why at that
fuck.
point did you write?
Because the fucking
'Cause
fish
of-
dying and
Ah.
all that other bullshit, and like this movie's all about the dealing with death in more than one.
I
way.
was very much this child who was always thinking and concerned with death and shit, which I shouldn't have been. So it's a weird thing.
And she was concerned in this movie because obviously her mom died during childbirth due to complications, and everything else around that is her fear of death, and the fact that her dad works as a mortician just makes it more fucking unsettling, especially for the time period for it too.
Yeah. The guy tries to take the RV, and you have that whole thing.
Oh, and Dan Aykroyd steps up there, and I think that's the most fucking like badass Dan Aykroyd like dad mode you ever get.
I don't know. It's pretty cringe. He could have been better.
It's very stereotypical.
He's like, I'm gonna bury you in my front yard. I'd have been like, I'm gonna fuck you in front of your own wife to death. But I'm brutal and shit. Like, that's why you just hope I don't ever get into violent altercations with people, because I would just say the wildest, weirdest shit. Just
I'm
to
the same
fucking
way, like-
mentally disturb them. I want them so fucking traumatized.
I have so much patience, but yeah, once that patience is gone, like I'm gonna fuck you in the head.
Yeah, this
like,
isn't like a daily thing or anything. This
might,
is like a...
yeah, you might win the physical fight, but
Doesn't happen.
You'll never forget me. I'll tell you that.
If I was losing the physical fight, I would just start getting sexually into it, so that they would not want to touch me anymore.
Yeah.
Take your pants off.
I would actually, before the fight, Dennis style, that's not a bad idea, to show how insane you are.
Yeah.
To show off your fucking, you're the alpha, basically.
Yeah.
Get fucking entirely fucking naked, and then just start whacking it. I mean, that at that point, it could be sexual assault, so maybe keep the underwear on. I don't know where you really keep the line here, but...
It depends on
if somebody's trying to kill you, fuck it. Get fully naked, and just tell them you're about to fucking destroy their life.
Any guy that's gonna get in a fight that quickly is gonna be really homophobic. So as soon as you undo those pants, he's just gonna take off.
Well, that's the idea. He thinks you're insane.
Basically.
And you are. Because once it's one of those things, like if I'm ever in a physical altercation, motherfucker's losing an eye probably. Not me, but that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I won't get in a fight out of...
it takes a lot to push you over the edge, but once you get over the edge, you're like, well...
I've never been there, obviously. I've never gouged somebody's eye out. I'm just saying, like, if somebody, like, say a guy came while I was walking my dog and then shot my dog or something, you know, attacked me and
like,
killed my dog or something in front of me, you know, I'd probably fucking kill the motherfucker, gouge his eye out.
This is the plot of John Wick.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It explains the entire whole series.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back into the flick. Cringy dad moment. Dan Aykroyd says he's going to bury this guy in his front yard, and it's kind of funny because
But I got him laid, so.
Yeah, he should have just said, "I've been deeper insider than you'll ever be."
Then they fuck with bees for the first time with whimsical music playing.
Yeah, they fucking knocked a beehive down, and then they run and go jump in the water.
And then there's more fish trauma when she gets the fish at the carnival and drops the bag when they tell her that they're getting married, and then she's like concerned about the fish being okay, and they're like, "Do you want me to get you another fish?" And she's like, "The fuck, are you kidding me? Like, do you not understand why I'm upset here? What is this?" And that's one of those moments where I'm like, that character is dumb a little bit.
Damn.
She just seems like
both of the adults in general.
They're
not really fully understanding her. I mean, she does a better job of trying, but
yeah, she definitely does a better job of trying.
do you want us to get you a new fish? Like,
comes across a bit.
It's not a
as
fucking teddy bear.
Is a stoner. She's not able to put herself in that mindset, and stoner in a
Who's a
derogatory
stoner?
way, but in a stoner way where you're just like not always thinking about like putting yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Who's a stoner?
You're stoned out of your mind, man.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, we're talking about Alec again. Hey, speaking of which, real quick, recreational marijuana is on the ballot in Missouri this fall.
Nice. Hell
So,
yeah, it is.
There you go.
Too bad we're in a red state.
That'll go through. Tax money alone on that. Mm-hmm.
No. What is it
Franchise rights alone will make us rich
It's already
beyond
trending
our
very
wildest
well to
dreams.
go through.
No.
Kansas
They
is
get,
fucked.
they get shot down every other time.
It's actually going to be on the ballot.
I thought it had been before.
He gave her a ring. Oh, cool. Was it a decoding ring?
Yeah. Thomas is awesome. He's like, yeah. He asks good questions, too, for being a little kid. You know, he's asking questions based off his situational awareness of his life.
Oh, yeah, or the doctor asking him, do you think Veda's dying? He's like, no. But, like, you know, she's going through some shit because she's growing up in a funeral home. I get it.
Yeah, he's a very fucking smart kid, right? You understand why they're friends and, like, why he's the yin to her yang.
But also, it was written by an adult, so, you know.
But still, I think kids don't always get the credit for some of that awareness they actually have.
They just can't articulate it usually. I don't think like he can, and that's the problem. I don't think that's necessarily super accurate, but it works. It's fine. I just don't like movies usually where you can tell the dialogue of a child is like, the child's like fucking Kramer from Seinfeld, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a fucking hilarious, witty fucking asshole, and you're like, no, sorry.
No, kids have moments of pure fucking comedic genius, but they also have 95% of the time where they're just...
They're also morons.
Well, they don't know anything. They don't
Speaking
have
as
the
someone
life
who doesn't have kids, because they're morons. Not all kids, I mean, but you know, every kid is a moron at some point, including everyone who is ever a kid.
Mm-hmm.
She gets her first period. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'm hemorrhaging. She's like, holy shit, no, how old are you? Yeah, there's a thing I have to tell you about. And then she apparently tells her about vaginal penetration, sex, and all the cum and the fucking everything, apparently.
Yeah, she goes in the whole thing. She's like, my mom and dad did that? And you're like, whoa.
Well, she's like, well, yeah, I mean, sometimes, but usually your mom would just watch the double Dutch rudder go on between your father and his friend. You know, I mean, not always would she get involved. But that night in particular, yes, that's why you're here.
I was just thinking, like, your dad also uses some of the specimens in the basement sometime when mom's not in the mood.
Mm-hmm. Your father's a sick man. We need to get out of here. Fucking Christ, this is a different movie. We should cut a trailer where it looks like he's fucking the corpses in the basement.
Fuck, that's a movie that we should remake.
And Jamie Lee moves in, is always
traumatic
like
as
trying to get
fuck.
him to fuck, and he never wants to. And she's like, why doesn't he want to fuck me? And he's
Until she plays dead.
Yeah, right.
She has to play
She
dead every
pretends to
time.
be a corpse, and he's like, this corpse is too warm.
She puts on her hooker makeup and then like lays down and like in a bed of ice to be cold for him.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that.
If there was such thing
My
as hell,
Girl
I'd say we're
3.
going there, but I'm not worried about it.
Remake My Girl.
Fuck yeah. It's going to be fucked up.
What if we had...
I mean, the first one's pretty fucked up anyway.
What if
I mean,
we had actually gotten Klumsky on the show?
I can just imagine seeing a Dan Aykroyd looking really haggard and dipping his fingers, 2 fingers, a close-up shot of 2 fingers dipping into Vaseline while you hear him singing, "There she was, just walking down the street."
Like the Kill Bill scene, basically, with the Vaseline. With
Oh, yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, you could just cut that into the trailer.
I'm fucking my high school teacher, don't sing.
Yeah, exactly.
You could take that scene from Kill Bill and cut it into this supposed fake trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to work.
His coworkers always gangbanging the corpses with him.
They're Eiffel Towering.
I'm running out of steam here.
Yeah, what do we got left in this flip? Oh, yeah, the kid dies. We got to get to that.
Well, wait. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, if you haven't seen this, that's a major spoiler.
We didn't say which kid.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She stays late that night at the tree thing, and he goes and gets attacked by bees, and...
She left her ring there.
Yeah, she left her ring there, and then she goes home and makes a comment about the Lindbergh baby and how she's going to sleep with her window open.
Yeah. That's fucking dark, though. That's like
Yeah.
real existential shit. And, like, you wonder back, like, the fuck happened to us? And you're like, oh, yeah, we watched shit like this growing up.
Grandma goes and starts singing at that person's funeral.
That was pretty cool, though. She's a pretty good singer.
Yeah, this is like, do the shit at my funeral, bro.
Yeah, like, someone needs to interrupt the shit. It shouldn't be monotonous. It shouldn't be dry. It should be a lively party. And people really wouldn't have been upset. They'd have been like, hey, here's someone, like, here's the reason why we rejoice people's lives.
Yeah, and
because they bring happiness.
He then scolds her, and she runs away to the lake with Thomas J., and then that's where they kiss and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah,
they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
Did they say under God?
I'm sure
Yeah,
they
by
do.
this point in time they did, yeah.
Since the 50s.
53, I believe, is when all that
He
bullshit
goes
started.
and finds her ring, gets stung, and dies.
Stung a lot.
Yes.
By many different
And then the
bees.
cop comes at the door and is like, yo, that kid's fucking dead.
He drops his glasses. You wouldn't sting a guy without his glasses, would you?
Thomas J. can't deal without his glasses.
Oh, that is traumatic, too. Yeah.
He'll have new
She
eyes in
cries
heaven.
when she's told and runs to the doctor and is, having a fit there, basically. And then you go to his funeral. And she's like, yeah, not going to participate in that. Slowly makes her way down there and breaks down. And they kind of take her away when she's like, his glasses, where are his glasses? He can't see it. They got his goddamn glasses. Put his glasses on him.
Was that after, though, she went and saw her teacher?
Yeah, that happened a long time ago. I just skipped over that because I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, I just thought it was interesting because she tells him he loves him and she thought he was going to marry him there, which is kind of unsettling.
Yeah. For sure.
It's just disturbing.
I'm just at the end here.
All right, you're out of steam, you said.
Well, I was out of steam with those jokes.
Oh, okay.
The specific joke we were running at the line. That's all that meant.
All right. I was like, Nick looks like he's been steam clean, so...
And then she goes tree climbing.
Yep.
And then you get the credits. And then the tape stops and rewinds and ejects. And then I wipe up all the cum.
Fuck you, I'm out of here. This is bullshit. That's the sickest thing I've ever heard. Hey, what is this? Oh, that's just the lettering. It's all white all over here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that was My Girl. Let us know what you think of My Girl, and
in all seriousness, it's a good film. Very fucking dark and existential, but there's some weird fucking shit in there. Like the weird, like, hippie couple that's a bunch of swingers. And I get it, the time, place and time there. Where
swang that thing.
Yeah, where that guy's like,
hey, Vita, I really like your story. Maybe you could come over and spend the night with me and her.
I like
and you're like, no.
I like the song that they made for this movie.
What song? The theme song? Yeah.
Yeah.
Made for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nick with his dry humor.
Go to patreon.com/Frog Roast Podcast. Good night, everybody.
These are my dinner guests. The Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests. The Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.